day, my viewers. I welcome you to our continuation learning of science and mathematics. What do we have today? We are going to be looking at another interesting subject and topic. What is the subject are we looking at? We are going to be looking at physics, and we'll focus our mind on a particular topic which we call what? Measurements. I hear it, measurement. What do you mean by measurement? We measure things every day of our life. We can measure the length, we can measure the time, we can measure the mass, we can measure the weight. A whole lot of things we normally measure. So that means that this topic of measurement is very, very important. So in physics in particular, why do we have to measure? What are the things we measure? What are the apparatus we normally use to measure? These are some of the questions we want to answer in this topic. So let's go over the topic. As we normally do in this channel, we first of all look at our learning objective. That is, what are the things we want to discuss, we want to teach in this topic today. Let's look at our learning objective. Now, our learning objective for this first one, we are going to say what is measurement. We are going to define measurements. We now move on to measurement of length. How do we measure length? What are the apparatus for measuring length? We now look at the unit of length. Okay? Move on to measurement of mass. Okay, what is to measure mass? What is unit of mass? We now move on measurement of weight. Apparatus for measuring weight. The unit of weight. Okay, we now move on to measurement of time. The apparatus is to measure time, and then the unit of time. So these are our 9 learning objectives. So let's take them one by one. The first one, which I call what is measurement. How do you define measurement? Measurement simply means that the process of determining the size, the weight, and then the quantity of an object. If you are taking the measurement, if you want to know the size, you want to know the quantity, you want to know the quality of an object, you are talking about what? Measurement. Oh, I want to measure the length of this paper. You can take the measurements. I want to measure the weight of this marker. You can take the measurement. So you can see that measurement is a topic that we come across all our daily. That's why physics is about every day-to-day activity. So let's put it down. What is measurement? We say that measurement, let's put it down. Measurement, okay, is the process. For the process of determining the size, trying to know the size, quantity, and quality of an object or of a body. That's right. So the key words you want to know the size, quantity, and then the quality of an object. That's what we call what? Measurements. Okay. Having said that, then what are the things that we normally measure on? We can measure the length, we can measure the mass, we can measure the weight, we can also measure what? The time. So let's take the first one, which is called measurement of length. What is the length? When we talk about length, the length simply means the space between 2 points. The space between 2 points is called what? Length. Some people call it what? Some people call it what? Distance. Or distance between 2 points is called what? Length. So length and distance are synonymous with one another. Okay, so if you are talking about the space between 2 points, you are talking about what? The length. Okay, so let's put it down. Measurement of length. Measurement of length. Now, measurements of length. Okay, second learning objective. So length is what? Length, let's put it down, is the space. Is the space between 2 points. Between 2 points. Okay. So between 2 points. We have defined length. Then what are in which unit do we measure length? Length can be in feet, length can be in inch, length can be in centimeter, length can be in what? Millimeter, and the rest. Okay. Now, also, what is the apparatus or instrument normally used to measure length in the laboratory, especially? Laboratories, instruments used for measuring length, or the apparatus. Instruments for measuring length. We are talking about the measurement of length now. For measuring length, we have what is called, you can use meter rule. You can use meter rule or ruler, meter rule. You have what is called our normal ruler. You can also use what you call micrometer, screw gauge, micrometer screw gauge. This one is normally used to measure the internal diameter of a wire, very small object, micrometer screw gauge. We also have what you call vernier caliper, a cylindrical, is a vernier caliper. The ones that object that are what? Cylindrical inside. So we can use vernier caliper to measure that one. So we can see that in the laboratory, you can use meter rule to measure the length. You can use micrometer screw gauge to measure the length. You can also use what's called vernier caliper. These are some of the apparatus we normally use to measure length. Okay, and what are the units of length? Let's look at the unit of length. Unit of length. Okay, length can be in feet. Length can be in feet. It can be in inches. It can be in meter. It can be in what? Kilometer. These are some of the units of length. Unit of length. But the SI unit, international systemic, we call SI unit in physics. International systemic, otherwise called SI unit. Length is measured in meter. Is meter. So SI unit of length is in what? Meter. So if you are doing most of your calculation, if they give most of your quantity of a particular things, that if they give you in centimeter or inches, try to convert it to what? Meter. Length is measured in meter, in SI units. SI unit of length is what? Meter. Okay, so what is the relationship? In most cases, we have what? What you call 1 millimeter. It's called what? 10 centimeter. Okay, 1000 millimeter is equivalent to what? 1 meter. Okay, 1 meter. Okay, also 1000 meter is equal to what? 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer. You have a whole lot of 1000 millimeter inside just 1 meter. We have a whole lot of 1000 meter inside 1 kilometer. So that's what we are saying. So later on we are going to look at the unit conversion. You can change from millimeter to centimeter. You can change from millimeter to meter. You can change from meter to kilometer. So that's what we are saying. So that's what we have under the length. We have known the apparatus for measuring the length and then the unit of length. And the SI unit of length, so length is measured in meter. Okay, so having said that, let us now look at the second one, measurement of mass. What is mass? Let us look at mass. What is mass? Mass simply means mass is the quantity of matter in an object. So mass, let's look at measurement of mass. Measurement of mass. So mass, what is mass? Mass is the quantity of matter in an object. Quantity of matter, okay, in an object. So that's what we call mass, the quantity of matter in an object. And it is constant. It does not vary. It is constant. It is the same everywhere. Okay, it is constant. Mass is constant everywhere. If you measure the mass in Nigeria, you go and measure the mass in England with the same the instrument, you are still going to get the same mass. So mass is the same everywhere. Mass is constant. It does not change. Okay, so what are the apparatus for measuring mass? So mass is measured. It is measured with, you can use beam balance. Beam balance is one of the instruments for measuring mass. Okay, you can measure the mass, you can measure my mass, you can measure mass of so many things. You can measure the mass with what? Being balanced. So what is the instrument for measuring mass? You said it. What is the unit of mass? So mass can be in what? Kilogram or gram. Let's go at gram. Mass can be in gram, decigram, and the rest. So the most common one is what? Gram and kilogram. Because according to the SI unit of mass is measured in kilogram. Systemic International of Mass is what? Kilogram. So SI unit of mass is what? Kilogram. Mass is measured in kilogram. Okay? Kg. As your length is measured in meter, length is in meter, mass is in what? Kilogram. Okay. So what is the relationship? Especially for this one, we have 1,000 gram is equal to 1 kilogram. So you can convert your gram to kilogram. So how do you do that? Just if they give you want to convert 2 gram to kilogram, okay, you just multiply by what? 1,000. But if you want to convert from gram to kilogram, you divide by 1,000, because a whole lot of 1,000 gram, it is inside 1 kilogram. So that's what we are saying. So the SI unit of mass is in what? Kilogram. If they give you your mass in most cases in gram, convert it to kilogram. So simply divide your given mass, you divide it by 1,000 to give you in kilogram. So that's what we are saying. So let us now look at the other learning objective, which we are through with the measurement of mass, apparatus for measuring mass. Let us now move on to weight. What is a weight? Weight is the force of gravity, or the force pull of gravity on an object. So the force of gravity on an object is called what? Weight. Weight has to do with what? Force. Weight, yes, is the force of gravity. Weight is the force of gravity on an object, or what we call the gravitational pull on an object. Okay, so weight is the force of gravity on an object. So when you are talking about weight, you are talking about what? Force. Force is synonymous with what? Weight. That is why both weight and force, they are measured in the same unit. Weight is measured in Newton, as force is also in Newton. So weight is in Newton, as force is also in Newton. So weight is related to force. And one thing is that weight varies. It varies from one place to another. Why? Because it depends on the force of gravity. And force of gravity varies from one place to another. So that's why we say that weight varies because of the force of gravity from one place to another. Unlike mass is constant. Mass does not depend on force of gravity. So that's what we are saying. Okay, so having said that, so what is the instrument for measuring weight? The instrument for measuring weight, we can measure weight to a spring balance. Spring balance. So we use spring balance to measure what? To measure weight. So you can use spring balance to measure what you call weight. Okay, so we use spring balance to measure the weight. So that's what we are saying. Okay, having said that, let us now look at relationship. Also, weight is in what? Like I said, weight is in what? Newton. Weight is in what? Newton. Newton. We measure weight in Newton. SI unit of weight is what? Newton. And it varies from one place to another, being dependent on force of gravity. Okay, having said that, let us now look at the SI unit of weight again is Newton. Is that clear? Now let us now put the measurement of time. Time is just, what is time? What is time when you are talking about time? When you are talking about time have to do with what? Have to do with rotation. Time is what? Is the duration between two events. Is the duration between events. That's what we call what? Time. Time have to do what? Duration between events. Is the duration. Time. Measurement of time. Time is what? Duration between events. relation between events. Okay, and times tends to what? Time changes. Why? Time because of the what you call the sunset and the sunrise. Time varies because of the sunset and sunrise due to what? Rotation of the earth. So time varies from one place to another because of the what? Sunset and sunrise. It may be night in Nigeria and morning in America. So time varies from one place to another across the earth because of the sunset and sunrise due to rotation of the earth. So that's why time also varies. Okay, so what is the instrument for measuring time? Time can be measured with a stopwatch. You can use a stop clock to measure time. Okay, so these are what we are saying. And what is the SI unit of time? SI unit of time is what? Time is measured in seconds. Seconds, although there is a relationship. If you look at 60 seconds, 60 seconds is equals to 1 minute. Okay? 60 minutes is equals to what? 1 hour. Okay, 24 hours make 1 day. On like that. But the SI unit of time is second. Time is measured in seconds. Mass is in what? Kilogram. Your length is in what? Meter. Okay. These are some of the things we are talking about. So measurement have to do with what? You want to know the size, the quantity, and the quality of an object. That's when we talk about what? Measurement. So we have been able to cover all our learning objectives, the 9 learning objectives, from what? What is measurement up to what? Apparatus and unit of time. And again, I'll repeat, the apparatus used to measure time, especially in the lab as well. Can you go stopwatch? We call it stop clock in our home. So we have clock to measure the time, to know what is the time. You can do that. In the lab to measure time with what? Stop clock and the rest. So measurement have to do with, I repeat, the process of determining the size, the weight, and then the quantity of an object. That's what we call measurement. So we are able to look at measurement of mass, measurement of length, measurement of weight, measurement of time as well. So this is where we are going to stop today. Before we go, I would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel as usual, Science Chem Master. Click it. Why do you have to subscribe? When you subscribe, you see all the other topics we have done. You see all the other subjects. We teach other science subjects in this channel besides physics. We teach biology, we teach chemistry, likewise what? Mathematics. These are the basic subjects. All the science subjects we teach in this channel. So till we meet again, I say you should remain scientifically intelligent. Bye bye.